Hey guys, and welcome back to Swanee Studios. I'm your host, Tim, bringing you guys some more Battle Spot, and here we are with the brand new team. We got a Pachirisu, a Kangaskhan, a Rotom Heat, a Milotic, a Gardevoir, and a Scizor. We have 3 potential Megas, only one is a Mega, and that is the Kangaskhan. But I actually switched things up from the time that I showed you the team setup. The Milotic has Ice Beam instead of Recover, and the Scizor has Tailwind instead of Knockoff and Protect instead of Swords Dance. I may switch up Scizor's nature to Adamant instead of Jolly, but the first team we see is a Salamence, T-Tar, Ferrothorn, Thundurus, Azumarill, and an Aegislash, which means that Rotom Heat is a must-bring in this battle. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with Kangaskhan and Milotic, with Rotom Heat and Gardevoir in the back. I think that's a pretty good setup for this battle. I have a good way to deal with the Tyranitar, though. I do in the Milotic. The Gardevoir also can hit. I will be able to KO the Salamence if it's a Mega, which it most likely is. Interesting Sandstorm component to his team. I like the way that I can go about this, especially if he leads with the Salamence, because I do have competitive on my Milotic. So Rotom Heat in the back, Gardevoir. Scizor is not very useful in this matchup. It'll hit Tyranitar extremely hard, but aside from that, it really doesn't have much of a use. Pachirisu, its Super Fang could be effective against the Ferrothorn, but that's about it. I think we're good. So, basically to run down the items, Kangaskhan is the Mega, Milotic is Leftovers, Rotom Heat is Life Orb, Gardevoir... Did I not put items on... Fuck. I didn't put an item on Gardevoir. Or I did and it's not showing up. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not, I don't know. But that could be a problem. If it is, then I'll just put it on afterwards. I have to check. It should have a Choice Scarf. I thought I put it on, but... yeah, it should have an item. I'm not positive why it wouldn't. But, you know how that sometimes happens where it doesn't show the item once you do the select screen. So, we'll see. But if it doesn't have an item, then we're royally screwed. If it does, then we are in a fantastic position, because this is exactly what this team is built for, dealing with Mega Salamence and dealing with Pokemon of that nature. So we lead with Khan and Milotic, 2 shinies. I have 3 on the team. It's Azumarill and Ferrothorn as the initial lead, which I'm okay with. I'm going to switch out immediately. I'm going to fake out the Azumarill to prevent any belly drum shenanigans, and I'm going to switch immediately into Rotom. Okay, so I do have the Choice Scarf on Gardevoir. I don't have a face cam for this. I'm sorry, I'll have it for the videos next week. I just don't have it on right now. Due to my room isn't extremely clean, I have to babysit for my dog, who's in my room and running around, and he's adorable and everything, but I don't want to have that going on. So I'm not sure what the Ferrothorn's going to go for here, as the Azumarill does Protect, which I'm okay with. A first turn Protect is absolutely fine by me, and that actually allows me to substituting Ferrothorn. Interesting play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Power Up Punch the Ferrothorn, and most likely break the substitute, and then I'm going to overheat it. Actually, I'm going to Thunderbolt the Azumarill first turn. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Power Punch the Ferrothorn, and I'm going to Thunderbolt the Azumarill, because I hit that thing pretty damn hard. With the Life Orb, I don't know if I'll be able to take it out, because it is very bulky, but I should do massive damage to it, and then I can always Sucker Punch it the next turn, especially if he goes for like a Belly Drum or something and it fails, or what have you. So, whatever comes in, he doesn't have anything. I guess the only thing that could really handle the Thunderbolt would be the Thundurus T, because it does have Volt Absorb, but aside from that, he's not in a very good spot, and with the Power Punch I should be able to break the substitute, but I didn't want to bank on it. And I'll get up at least up to +2, which is probably the best thing. Iron Barbs, it shouldn't affect me behind the substitute. Yeah, perfect. Power Punch does break the sub, so I could have just overheated it. But I do get up to +2, which is fantastic. And I am going to Thunderbolt the Azumarill, which does take this hit, and it does go down 1 hit to the Thunderbolt. So a perfect turn going on so far. I wonder what this Ferrothorn's going to go for. Maybe a Gyro Ball onto the Kangaskhan slot. And it does. Whoo! Wow, that did a lot. Okay. Depending on what comes in, we could be in a really good or really bad spot. It's the Salamence. I will outspeed Salamence this first turn, I believe. So I'm going to overheat the Ferrothorn. Actually, Salamence might be same speed, so I might Sucker Punch it just for the safety factor and overheat the Ferrothorn. Because if I do lose Kangaskhan, I'm okay with that. It's just, you know, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Sucker Punch the Salamence, and I'm going to overheat the Ferrothorn. If he protects, he protects. But he withdrew it. Okay, whatever comes in is going to take an overheat to the face. It's the Tyranitar. Probably the best switch-in he could possibly have. I probably should have Power Punch that slot, which was my idea, but, you know, whatever. Sucker Punch will come out onto the Salamence, which is fantastic news for me, as it does connect, and it should do good damage to it. Okay, very good damage, did over half. Goes for a Hyper Voice, so it is the special variant. Flying should do nothing to my beautiful little Rotom. I'm perfectly okay with that. And what I can do here is I can overheat, and it misses! It missed! Oh, that's unfortunate. But there's one bright side. I can actually bring in the Gardevoir and Dazzling Gleam here. And then I can Thunderbolt the Tyranitar slot, and that should be able to KO both. I trace the Sandstream, which obviously has no effect on this battle. Going to Dazzling Gleam, and I'm going to Thunderbolt the Tyranitar. So if he protects, but that gives me at least an opportunity to take out the T-Tar, and the Dazzling Gleam will KO both Salamence and potentially Tyranitar. A Moonblast with this Gardevoir set can KO any Salamence that is not super bulky, as he does withdraw. So the Thunderbolt will hit the Ferrothorn pretty hard, which is fine by me. It'll eat the Dazzling Gleam up, though, and I might have been, maybe should have targeted the Salamence, even though it will take it out easily. So that's a good turn, and the Thunderbolt will hit the Ferrothorn. Good damage. Okay, so I can definitely double target the Ferrothorn slot this turn with an Overheat and with the Dazzling Gleam. And with my final Pokemon being my Lodic in the bag, this is pretty much all but in the bag. If I can take out the Ferrothorn, we're in an excellent spot. And with Dazzling Gleam, we'll do massive damage to the Tyranitar at the very least. And because I don't understand the switch exactly, I guess to prolong the battle one more turn, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to overheat the Ferrothorn slot, and I'm going to, because that Gyro Ball will knock me out if I don't. So the Dazzling Gleam comes out, it'll do tremendous amount to Tyranitar. I did a little bit under half. As long as I hit the overheat, we're good. And I do hit the overheat, so we're in a perfect spot. That's game. Down goes the Ferrothorn. No chance of surviving that. And that basically means that I can actually go for a Will-O-Wisp onto the Tyranitar if I wanted to. I'm probably just going to Thunderbolt it. He goes for the Rock Slide, which is I'm okay with. Won't KO the Gardevoir, which is perfect. That's all we needed to know. And from here, we can indeed bring in the Milotic, and that will seal this up. So we're going to Scald. It's not over, per se, because he can still do a variety of things. He could continuously Rock Slide until I flinch, and with the Milotic not getting a hit off, that could actually cost us the battle, but it's not very likely. So I'm going to Scald and Dazzling Gleam the Tyranitar. Single target Dazzling Gleam actually should take this out, as it does, and that is going to be your first battle of the day. So, Fab Five, how you like me now? So we defeat Yona in the first battle of the day by a final score of 2-0. I really like this team. There's no overlapping weaknesses. We do have some struggles against lesser Pokemon. We don't have a single ground type attack, a single rock type attack, or a single fighting type attack aside from Power Punch on the team. And that is our only flaw. We don't need to replace anybody though. I guess Pachirisu's the most replaceable, but I really like what Pachi can do with Super Fang, being able to have any Pokemon's HP in half. Nuzzle is fantastic, and then Follow Me, of course, can be very useful when you're not facing spread attackers. So, especially if you're facing like a Kangaskhan mirror match, really helpful. So we win the first one, we're up to 15-17. Let's see if we can get a second victory on the day and start off strong with this brand new awesome team. We find Marco 5 from Italy, Lombardy. And his team is a Chestnut. Wow, Dusknoir, Magnezone, Aerodactyl, Slowbro, and Abomasnow. Okay, that is a really interesting team, and the first thing I recommend, based on this composition, is a duo of Kangaskhan and Rotom. Rotom hits every single thing on this team super effectively, except for the Dusknoir. Scizor will come in handy, no fire-type attackers. And Pachi could be useful, but I'd probably prefer having the Gardevoir for its Choice Scarf, being able to hit pretty much anything on this team. He has no Intimidators, so my Milotic isn't very useful, especially with two Grass types and an Electric type. Pachi actually could be pretty useful. Super Fang wouldn't do anything to the Dusknoir, however. Actually, I'm going to bring Gardevoir. So it's going to be Kangaskhan, Rotom, Scizor, and Gardevoir to round things out. With the Choice Scarf chilling in the back, I think that'll be pretty useful. I know that the Chestnut will probably want to go for a Spiky Shield first turn. I'm anticipating an Aerodactyl and maybe Dusknoir lead. That might be the case. I know that Chestnut also gets Wide Guard. I don't think it gets Quick Guard. So, because we don't have any spread attackers, what I can do is I can lead. If I'm expecting the Aerodactyl, and that's going to be the biggest threat to my team, most likely, because it's Tailwind capability, it's Rock Sliding. But I'm going to probably look at it as Dusknoir, Magnezone. Okay, this is actually a very good matchup for me, because I can do this. I can fake out the Dusknoir in Scrappy form, and I can overheat the Magnezone. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's the play. If he switches, but nothing except for the Slowbro can really anticipate an attack, or can deal with an attack from Rotom. And I'm assuming the Dusknoir, or I don't know what's going on. It might be a Choice Scarfed. It's not Choice Scarf Magnezone, it's an Air Balloon. Goes for the Protect, which is fine. That's absolutely fine with me. The Fake Out comes out onto the Dusknoir, which will do good damage. The Overheat comes out, protects itself, and I'm fine with that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Mega Evolve and Power Up Punch the Magnezone slot, and I'm also going to Thunderbolt the... I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Dusknoir. I'm expecting a Will-O-Wisp to come out of it. Actually, you know what, no. I'm going to Thunderbolt the Magnezone slot as well. I'm expecting a switch into the Slowbro, and I'm going to do massive damage to it. And the switch comes out, it's into the Slowbro, so I'm going to get the Power Up Punch plus the Thunderbolt, which should take out the Slowbro this turn, and that puts us in a really good spot. Especially if he tries to Will-O-Wisp my Kangaskhan, it'll bring me back up to neutral. So the Power Punch comes out, breaks any potential Focus Sash for the Slowbro, which I doubted to begin with. It could be Rocky Helmet. It's not, maybe it's a Mega, but I'm going to Thunderbolt it, and that could actually KO it. It's a defensive Pokemon. With the Life Orb, the Rotom almost KOs the Slowbro. Okay. Okay. Trick Room! Interesting! A Trick Room set, I probably should have anticipated that based on the team comp, but at +2, I can indeed Sucker Punch the Dusknoir, and I can actually just go for another Thunderbolt. I'm gonna try that. At +2, the Dusknoir, if he goes for an attack, he might not. I probably rushed that a little bit, but we'll see. I'm expecting the Slowbro to potentially switch out into maybe the Abomasnow or back into the Magnezone or something. But that's actually kind of concerning. I probably should have double targeted that slot. Nah, there's not much I could have done there. The Slowbro does Mega Evolve, which is fine. I'm not sure what he's going to go for. He might go for a Slack Off or something, but a Thunderbolt will KO the Slowbro unless he protects. The Sucker Punch fails. It's going for the Slack Off. Okay. He does go for the Slack Off, so I should be able to KO the Slowbro this turn, which would be fantastic. The Dusknoir goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and he hits it onto the Kangaskhan. Okay. That's probably the worst possible scenario, I guess, even though I'm back to neutral, as the Thunderbolt does KO the Slowbro, which was perfect. Here's where things get interesting. I can Sucker Punch again into the Dusknoir slot, but I'm probably going to, because this is obviously a support Dusknoir, it's probably very bulky. I'm probably going to Power Up Punch into whatever switches in. I'm assuming it's going to be the Magnezone once again. Magnezone comes back in. I'm going to Power Up Punch and Overheat it. Goes to the Chestnut. Interesting decision. I'm going to probably switch out into the Scizor here, and I'm going to Overheat the Chestnut slot. That's the play that I'm going to go with. I could Protect, but I'm going to Overheat. If he goes for his patented Spiky Shield, then so be it. But he goes for the Shadow Sneak onto the Rotom. Let's see how much this does. Nothing. Hammer Arm onto the Rotom. Oh, wow. Okay, so as long as we hit, this is going to take out the Chestnut. And it misses. Of course it does. Of course it does. We're double protecting this turn. Damn. Overheat at 90 accuracy misses the Chestnut, and that just... oh. Goes for the Hammer Arm again into the Rotom. Goes for the Will-O-Wisp onto the Scizor. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back into Kangaskhan, and I'm going to switch into Gardevoir to take that Hammer Arm. That's the plan. We'll see how this pans out. Being a Psychic Fairy type, this should do no damage to me. And the Dusknoir, I believe this is the final turn of Trick Room. If it is, then we're in a good spot. But we're doing a lot of switching because we don't have a great answer for Trick Room. I think that was one of the things that we couldn't really deal with, but we know all 4 of his Pokemon, and I need to preserve Rotom for, indeed, his, Rotom for his Magnezone. So Gardevoir comes back out, or comes out for the first time, and I trace the Bulletproof. Okay, I don't know if that's going to help at all, but Hammer Arm goes onto the Gardevoir, which should do literally nothing. Literally nothing. And the Dusknoir is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp onto the Kangaskhan slot, and I already have a burn. Is that the final turn of Trick Room? There might be one more. Nope, that is the final turn of Trick Room. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to Double Edge into the Chestnut, and I'm going to Shadow Ball into the Dusknoir. Now, I don't think I can kill it, but I can do pretty good damage to it. Do I focus on that, or do I focus on the Chestnut? I'm going to Power Punch the Chestnut. I'm going to Shadow Ball the Dusknoir. Shadow Ball comes out. We'll see how much it does to the Dusknoir. Not enough. It's a lot, but not enough. And I go for the Power Punch onto the Chestnut. I'm assuming that he's going to twitch the dimensions once again, but So the Hammer Arm onto the Kangaskhan, which I'm okay with. He takes it out, he takes it out, he doesn't take it out, the burn will. So I do get a free switch in, which is good. Goes for the Trick Room. And that actually is pretty helpful for us. It means that I can take out the Dusknoir this next turn. I'm going to protect, I'm going to switch into the Scizor. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the... I have to go for the Shadow Ball into the Dusknoir. Goes for the Spiky Shield. Perfect. Protect with the Rotom. And the Shadow Ball will go into the Dusknoir. Oh, just for a Pain Split. With the Special Defense drop, that actually will go down this turn. So the Dusknoir will go down, which means no more Trick Room for him. I get the crit, didn't matter. And here comes a kind of problem. My opponent has 2 Pokemon left. It's the Chestnut and the Magnezone. Shadow Ball is really not a good move to be locked into. I guess actually it could be the most effective for this instance. My team is too fast. That's a problem. The Magnezone is what scares me, so I'm going to probably target it down. Probably going to lose Gardevoir this turn, unfortunately. I don't think I can win this, honestly. I have to target down the Magnezone. I'm going to switch out into Scizor. Yeah, I don't really have a good play with this. So this Trick Room team, it's not the best built team. Oh, wow. What's it going to go for? So the Hammer Arm onto the Scizor, which will do really way too much. The crit. The crit. The crit. Just gonna target down the Magnezone. Gotta protect with Scizor. I don't have any other option, unfortunately. The only way I can win this is if I can stall out Trick Room somehow, and I won't be able to because he's gonna Flash Cannon me this next turn, and down goes Gardevoir. So I really don't have a play in this, but I'm going to try to see if he can make a bad prediction and maybe think that I'm not choiced in some way. Maybe. I go for the Protect. We'll see. The Magnezone has to go for the Flash Cannon, right? Hammer Arm onto Scizor. Okay. Flash Cannon. Yeah. So down goes Gardevoir. Trick Room is still up, and I'm weak. Weak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the Bug Bite, and I'm going to go for the Overheat. Oh, no. I'm going to make sure I take out at least one of his Pokemon this turn if he doesn't kill both. So we've seen Protect from both. I'm going to double target the Chestnut. The Hammer Arm onto the Rotom. That takes it out. And that's pretty much game. Scizor is going to be faster than the Magnezone. Goes for a Thunderbolt. Doesn't crit. It probably mattered. But either way, so we lose the second battle, unfortunately, and that's how it goes. So Trick Room is probably the one weakness this team has. We rely a little bit on speed. We don't have anything extremely slow, but we rely on speed and speed control and things of that nature. So I really like the team composition, but we'll do better next time. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Moonlight Swam, and I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace, I am out.